Hello everyone. How's your training going with the dogs? Let me know in the comments. Let's see if together we can have some super well behaved, super trained and super healthy dogs. So, what do I want to talk to you about today? Today, actually a few days ago, I got an emergency call about a dog that had run away. The owner had no control over the dog. She called it and it went straight to a dead cat that was there and started howling in it. Just imagine, smell, it came back with, the dog was super happy. The owner gave it a huge scolding and asked me why the dog did that nasty thing. Actually, not that nasty. I'm going to explain a bit. The dog was actually just perfuming itself in a wonderful scent of decomposing animal. And you might say, well, that's not a wonderful perfume, at least not for me. Indeed, we are not dogs, and dogs are not humans. So the idea of what a good smell is for a dog doesn't have to be the same as what a good smell is for me. Let me explain even better. We are monkeys that came down from the trees not too long ago, speaking on an evolutionary scale. That means that what we consider a good smell is something that reminds us of what we used to eat. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well. So, if you pay close attention, most perfumes, if not 100%, let's say 90%, are either floral scents or fruity scents like citrus, peach or vanilla. What does that mean? If it smells like fruit, it means there's food there that we can eat. And if it smells like flowers, it's very possible that there is also food, because as we all know, fruits come before flowers. So, our subconscious, as primitive humans, almost monkey-like, who were still on top of the trees, those smells assured our survival. So it was a smell that is very important and very pleasant for us, because it means that if there's food, I'm going to keep living. Dogs are carnivores, and as such, the presence of a dead animal means there could also be live animals around, and therefore food, which means they can keep living. That's it. So, is the smell of decomposing animals for the dog as pleasant and wonderful as our jasmine scent or our citrus scent like orange? So, does that mean you can't scold them? Let's see. Yes and no. I mean, it's not a pleasant thing to be smelling your dog, or a rotten cat, or a decomposing animal. Well, it's really not a smell. I mean the rotting cat, right? Although no one should take offense. I'm saying this because in this case the dog reflected on a cat that was dead. It was decomposing. You can't scold the dog. The dog has perfumed itself and has come to you super happy to say, look how good I smell. Okay, imagine you get close to someone, you perfume yourself and say, look, I'm going to show my girlfriend how good I smell, or my wife, or my boyfriend, or whoever. Look how good I smell. Oh, how gross, what an idiot for perfuming himself. Right? He made a swear word. Anyway, what I mean is, I wouldn't scold the dog. I would just be careful that where I have my dog off leash, there aren't any decomposing animals that he would want to perfume himself with. On the other hand, I would take a training course to have a bit of control over the dog, so that when I call him, he thinks, no, I'd rather go with my owner than go perfume myself. Well, I hope you found it interesting why dogs perfume themselves, not just with decomposing animals, but also with poop, dog poop, and pee. On the other hand, I would take a training course to have a bit of control over the dog, so that when I call him, he thinks, no, I'd rather go with my owner than go perfume myself. Well, I hope you found it interesting. why dogs perfume themselves, not only with compression animals, with poop, with dog poop, with pee. Keep in mind that all this means that for the dog, there are other animals nearby and therefore possibility of hunting and eating. We can never forget that our dog is indeed a meat-eating hunter and we are omnivorous tree dwellers. So there's really no comparison between the two. As Orlando said, I don't know if you've seen the talk I had one day in one of his courses. He was explaining how different we are, that surely a dog couldn't interpret a map because dogs have never climbed a tree and have never seen the ground from up high in a tree. However, we can. We are capable of interpreting a map because until very recently we lived in trees, and now we can understand the map because living up there in the trees we saw the land as it appears on a map. I'm not going to say much more. Just, well, if you have any curiosity or any questions, you know you can leave them in the comments or you can write to me at PsychWellMail. Like, recently, Sonia, who is a subscriber and friend of the channel, asked me a question that I haven't forgotten. Sonia, I haven't forgotten. You're there, okay? But this seemed like a curiosity I wanted to share with you all because I'm sure many of you have experienced it and have wondered why they do that. Just like you might be wondering why dogs are so fascinated by smelling pee and why they lick it. Because they lick it because they're filthy. No, it's not because of that. I'll explain more about that later. And what I was telling you, Sonia wrote me an email because she had a question about her dogs, about her dog, and she sent me some videos. About that video, I'm going to make video, if you'll excuse the redundancy, explaining a little bit about what's going on there and whether it's serious, if it's not serious, and how to solve the problem. That's it, a hug. And I'll see you in the next video.